Hey guys, what is up and welcome back. I am serving beyond woman vibes today. I'm so not used to this look on me. Like wow, but I guess we'll take it. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys, although I have lipstick on my teeth throughout the video, but it's okay. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my highlighter declutter video. So to date, I've already done cream blushes and bronzers. We are quickly climbing. We are quickly climbing the ladder here of goods that I'm decluttering. Thank you so much on all of the love of my last two declutters. Like I mentioned to you guys, I'm going to be doing a declutter, I would say every week or so till like the whole declutter situation is over. So yeah, for today we're going to be doing highlighters. I will have my declutter playlist down below in the description box if you guys want to binge watch on any other declutters that I have. My style is no games being played style. Like that's like my slogan, like no games being played style. More like keep if you love, enjoy, use, just, you know, declutter if you're not feeling it anymore, if it doesn't suit your needs or whatever the case may be, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I will have my Poshmark link down below if you guys want to purchase any of these highlighters. If I did purchase the highlighter on my own, it will be on Poshmark. If not, then I don't post goodies that were sent to me like on Poshmark. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get started. So here's my highlighter drawer. Let's do this. Firstly, I have the Natasha Denona I Need a Glow highlighter here. This is beautiful. It's like the perfect, I would say, champagne-y gold that works well for my skin tone. I also love the formula. I would say it's more in the middle there, not too blinding, but not too sheer. Love this. You guys know, love Natasha Denona. So I'm gonna keep this. Next up, I have this one right here from Dominique Cosmetics. This is in the shade Golden Dew. I honestly try to use this like once or twice, and I really like, it's just not an item that I typically like gravitate towards. It's more like a cream slash very like see-through type of highlighter in a sense. You can use it on its own or with the powder highlighter. I'm gonna declutter it because I don't really use it. Next up, I have this highlighter here from Bobbi Brown. This right here is amongst my favorites. I don't speak about it a lot on my channel, but I love it. I adore it. It's in the shade, one second, Pink Glow. So beautiful. Excellent formula, keeping for sure. I also have the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter Palette here. So I did try to use this a few times to see like if I would enjoy it or not, but this is a very like chalky type of highlighter palette. The shades don't really blend out so beautifully, and it doesn't look like that good on the skin. Also, these tones are not usually shades that I go for. Sometimes I'll dip into this kind of color, but these are usually a no for my skin tone. Wasn't a fan of the formula, not a fan of the shades per se, so I'm gonna declutter this. Next, I have this highlighter here from Too Faced. I don't even know what shade this is in because it doesn't even say it on the back, but this is like a very unpredictable highlighter because there are so many shades going on in here. So it can kind of come across as like green or yellow or purple, and you know, most of the time I would like to know where my highlighter is going. I like the formula, I think it was good, but I don't tend to use this way too much, so I think I'm okay like decluttering it, saying goodbye. Next up, I have the Benefit Cosmetics Cookie Highlighter here. This is one of my favorites. You guys can see here, it is a very, very well loved 10 out of 10 highlighter. You can go light with this or super dramatic, and it always looks amazing on. So I'm gonna keep this baby. Next, I have the MAC Hyper Real Glow Palette, also a 10 out of 10 highlighter palette. So I spoke to you guys about this in my makeup I'm almost finished with type of video, and I mentioned that I'm obsessed with this. This highlighter is everything to me. Amazing formula, builds up beautifully, just looks good with any look, really. So I love this keeping. But next, I have this highlighter palette here from Sleek. This I would say is definitely more on the older side, so I might have to toss it. I think it's from 2016. It's in Solstice. So you can see here I hit pan on that. It used to be my absolute favorite. I think back in the day this was amazing for the time, but I feel like now at this time better highlighters have been released, and this really isn't a formula that I really enjoy anymore, and it's really not a palette that I gravitate towards at all. So I'm gonna declutter this. It was nice at the time though. Next, I have this highlighter palette here from CoverGirl. I tried to give this a go a few times, but it just seemed like the powders are very, very flaky and very chalky, and they don't adhere well to the skin at all. I feel like for highlighters, it's the drugstore's like weakest point. You know, like the drugstore is so good with so many different products, but with highlighters, it's very, very, very hit or miss. Mostly miss, sometimes hit. So anyway, I'm gonna declutter this. I really don't enjoy it. This, on the other hand, is an absolute winner from Flower Beauty. This is a beautiful highlighter palette that I love to use regularly, so I like to mix all these shades together or use this on its own. This is available on Ulta's site. So good. I love keeping. Next, I have these highlighters here from Wet n Wild. So I have this one right here in Precious Petals. These used to be everything like a few years back. I think I'm gonna declutter this one. I don't really use it as much anymore, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. I think it's supposed to be like a dupe for one of the Dior highlighters. This is in Blossom Glow. It's a really pretty like pink, whitish pink, and the formula is pretty good. I do like this one, so I'm gonna keep this and declutter the other one. Next, I have this highlighter here from Physicians Formula. It's actually like broken. I love this. It's actually great quality. I just know that it's also on the older side and I don't really use it as much. And I actually don't even know if they make it anymore. I got a lot of use out of it at the time, but I think I'm ready to part ways with this. Also, the packaging is huge. I feel like it's just taking up space. So I'm gonna declutter this. Next, I have this highlighter quad that I got in Ipsy. Honestly, not a fan. A lot of the makeup that's included in there from brands that I haven't really heard of, I just don't really gravitate towards the goods, I'll be honest here. So I think I'm gonna declutter this one. Next, I have this highlighter duo here from Fenty Beauty. This is in Mean Money and Hustla Baby. I do like this shade. This I don't use as much. It's definitely a bit more lighter and more like see-through, but I like these tones, and I typically don't go for these type of shades, but this happens to work out well for my skin tone, and I think the formula is good. Did I say that already? But it's good stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Next, I have this highlighter here by Makeup by Mario. This is in Pearl. I've spoken about this so many times. This is beautiful on the skin. Amazing formula, 10 out of 10. It definitely bumped up its spot to like almost 1 or 2. Very silky, very smooth, and very like just silky. It's really, really good stuff. I'm definitely gonna check out other shades that he has in the line, but I'm gonna keep using this for sure. Next, I have this Dior quad. This is in 001 Universal. This is my favorite highlighter quad ever. So I'm almost done with that. Hit pan on that. This completely shattered, so I'm not gonna give myself any credit for that one. This I don't use as much, but adore the formula of this. Once I finish this and this, I'll probably end up repurchasing this, which never happens with highlighters, but you know that means something. This right here, absolute heaven, okay? Good stuff. Keeping. Next, I have this Hello Halo blush and highlighter duo from Wet n Wild. I don't necessarily use this. I thought it was decent, but I mean, I have the other singular highlighter that I feel like I get more use out of, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I have a little one of the Fenty Beauty Hustla Baby highlighters. I use this a lot. A little bit ago, I kind of forgot about it. So now that I'm decluttering, I feel like I'll be able to really see what I have here. So I'm gonna keep this. I feel like I'll probably hit pan on it soon, and it's great for traveling. So keep this little one. Next, I have the Essence Pure Nude highlighter here. I heard amazing things about this, that it's just like the best thing ever. Honestly, I've used this so many times, and I would say it's probably one of the worst highlighters I've ever tried in my life. I don't know what it is. It's like I got 2 because I thought maybe one was not like good or whatever, so I got another one and I'm like, okay, this thing sucks. So really not for me. I don't know what it is. I might be in the minority with this one, but I just don't see the hype. I'm not feeling it. Declutter. I'm kind of done giving it chances. Bye-bye. Next, I have this highlighter here from Kaja. This is one of their Mochi Glow highlighters in Prism. I don't really use this as much. I think it's also discontinued, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. It's like a mushy highlighter. It's decent for more of like those natural type of looks, but I don't really use it, so I'm gonna declutter this one. Next, I have this highlighter here from MAC. This is in Soft and Gentle in their older packaging. This was my first highlighter ever. Probably would never get rid of it. I think I purchased it when I was 17, so well over 10 years ago, let me tell ya. But it holds a special place in my heart. I'll still use it from time to time. It works decently. I do like it, but I'm really keeping it for like the nostalgic reasons, so keeping this babe. Another MAC highlighter I have here is this one in Double Gleam. This is a fantastic highlighter. A lot of you guys actually told me that Nikki Tutorials is obsessed with this, and I honestly could see why. This is such a solid one. Beautiful formula, wears beautifully throughout the day as well, and looks amazing on the skin. I love this, and the color is fantastic if you have very light skin tones. Double Gleam, you are a winner. We are keeping you. Next, I have this highlighter here from Ether Beauty. This is in Supernova. This is good. I feel like it's definitely more of like a sheer type of highlighter. This was sent to me by the brand, so it's not an item I would really sell. I'd probably give it away to one of you guys for free if you order something from Poshmark or something. That's what I typically do, just, you know, throw in some freebies here and there. But yeah, I'm gonna declutter it. I really don't use it, and it's not a formula that I'm obsessed with, so I'm gonna say say goodbye. Okay, I wanted to tackle my Ofra highlighters. I do have a code with Ofra. It's just Liora, Liora, for 20% off site-wide all the time. But yeah, I definitely want to go through my Ofra highlighters because there are some that I use, but then there are some that I don't really use. So firstly, we have this one right here in Pillow Talk. Love their highlighter formulas, by the way. 10 out of 10. Delicious on. So I like this color because it's like a whitish pink. It's a very wearable pink. It's not like too overdone. So I'm gonna keep that. This right here is my favorite Ofra highlighter. This is in Glazed Donut. This is like the most perfect off-white color. Obsessed with it. I don't know if you guys can see that I've used this a lot, but I use this all the time. Keeping. Next highlighter that I have here is in Beverly Hills. Now this one right here is a really good one. I like that we get like so much in one, but it really isn't one that I gravitate towards a lot just because since I do have a lighter skin tone, I'll usually just stick to this shade and this shade, you know? So as much as I kind of want to keep it, if I'm really being realistic here, it's not one that I use often, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. Next, we have this highlighter duo here in Retrograde. So here's what we're working with. We have like a ivory highlighter here and a purple one. This is a nice one if I want to go for that very like unique type of look. I'll kind of mix both of these and I'll get like a hint of like a purple and like off-white type of highlighter. So, one second. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. The next highlighter that we have here is Mother Earth. This is a really beautiful white, but it has like a green shift to it. It's so gorgeous. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys, yeah, you could see. How yummy is that? Keeping for sure. Next highlighter we have here is Milk and Cookies. I don't necessarily use this on its own. I feel like it's a little bit too dark for my liking, but I like to mix this with other highlighters to get a little bit of a lighter shade. So I'm gonna keep that. And then I have the Start Inspired highlighter here as well, which I think is a good one because we get the ivory shade and the more pinkier type of shade, and you can kind of mix it together to create, you know, just a bunch of different colors really. So I'm gonna keep this one. I also have these three highlighter palettes. So this right here is the Sweet Electric palette. We get a highlighter, blush, and bronzer. I do like this. I've used this highlighter a decent amount of times and this bronzer is really, really good, but it's not one that I necessarily gravitate towards, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. I also have this one right here, which is the Nikki Tutorials Trio. So I think that some of these are actually different shades. So Glazed Donut is in the middle, which I already have. This shade I don't use as much, and then we have Space Baby, which is like a white blue. But I think I'm gonna declutter this. I already have the shade, which is the shade I would use the most. This is a color that's too dark for me, and this, I already have the Earth, you know, highlighter, which is like a very unique color. So I think I'm fine not having this in my collection, so I'm gonna declutter. Okay, then we have this one, which is actually the MIDI Y2K palette, which, okay, if anything, I have the Space Baby highlighter in here. So I'm gonna keep this one because I feel like these are tones that I would probably use even more. We also get Star Island and Pillow Talk here. So I'm gonna keep this. Next, we have this highlighter palette here from Odin's Eye. So this shade actually like completely shattered. I think that these are really pretty tones. The formula is decent for me. I don't really gravitate towards this honestly though, so I think I'm gonna declutter this one. With this one as well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. This is the Rach Loves and Pixie palette. I like the idea of this. I like that there are 5 shades you can mix and match to create a customized shade. But honestly, like whenever I see it in my drawer, it's really not one that speaks to me, so I don't really use it. And then even with the shades that are included in here, like I would have loved something a little bit more lighter so I can mix and really create more customizable shades, like maybe like a lighter off-white, white type of shade, you know? So I'm gonna declutter this one. I also have this little one right here by Natasha Denona. I really like this. So this is more of like a topper highlighter, and then we have a blush. Great for traveling. I won't use this necessarily on its own, but it's pretty on top of other highlighters, and then this blush is really pretty. So I'm gonna keep that. I really feel like I haven't used this in a bit because it's like, it's been underneath everything. But I love this. I loved mixing the highlighter shades. The cream blushes are fantastic. This powder blush is super, super solid. You can definitely see that I've used this, especially this color right here. So now that I'll have less, I'll be able to really see what I have and use what I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Okay, next up I have a bunch of the Kaleidos highlighters. So I definitely know that there are a few that I will probably never use. And then there are some that I will. So let's see what we have here. So firstly, I have 2 Comet Catchers. I don't know why I have 2 of the same ones. Here you guys can see what the shade looks like. It's a pink. I'm gonna declutter both of them. I'm just probably not going to use these, and I have some from Ofra already that are similar, so declutter. Next, I have the Space Age Prophecy one, which looks just like this. They all look the same till you swatch them. This is like an orange, green situation. I'm going to declutter it. Then I have Solar Sailor, which is like a whitish yellow. Where did I swatch it here? Right over here. Gold. I don't really wear such colors, so I'm gonna declutter. Next, I have Star Surfer. This is more of like your pinky toned. This I do like. Yeah, white pinky, keeping. Next, we have the shade Ray Rider. This is like a deep champagne-y tone. Decent, but I still feel like it's a little bit too dark for me. I'm gonna declutter. Next, we have the shade Moon Crusher. Here is what this one looks like. I think this is like a blue. Yeah, I already have the Ofra one, so I'm gonna declutter this. Next, I have the shade Diamond Dasher, which is more of like, I think, a peachy tone. No, pink. I have a few of these already. I'm gonna declutter. Next, I have Mars Melter. I think this pulls more red. I'm gonna declutter it. And then I have Skywalker as well. I feel like I saw this before, but I don't know for sure. This is like a blue. So I'm gonna declutter that too. Oh, okay, I have another one. This right here is Laser Glazer. Yeah, guessed it. It's more of like a green, and this is way too dark for me, so I'm gonna declutter this one as well. I also have this from Pixie in Subtle Sunrise. I think it's really pretty, but I also have Delicate Dew, which looks just like this. I think I prefer this one, Delicate Dew, so I'm gonna keep this one. And I'm gonna declutter this one. Next, I have this little Laura Mercier highlighter here in 01. I used to like this. I don't like it anymore, really. It's very, very, very soft on the skin, and it almost looks very powdery, not necessarily highlightery. So I'm going to declutter. I also have this Jaclyn Hill one in the shade Iced. I don't know. Wasn't that big of a fan of this specific color. So I think I might just have to pick up another shade. I don't know. It was nice, but I just felt like on the skin, it didn't look that ba-boom, you know? So I'm gonna declutter. Next, I have a Mini Essence Pure Nude. This we're gonna say goodbye to. Don't love it. Don't like it at all. I also have this one right here from The Balm, which is like a pinky tone highlighter. Declutter. I also have this one right here from Charlotte Tilbury, which I've had in my collection for a minute. I never really decluttered it. Basically, when I received it, it arrived like that. But like, I never really wanted to get rid of it. I don't know, it still works, it's still nice. And the color is decent for me, I would say, for being a gold. So I'm gonna keep this. I also have this highlighter here by Ciate London. It came in this little plasticky thing in Moondust. I do really like this, so I'm gonna keep it. Next, I have this highlighter here by Maybelline. This is in 250. Pretty good one for the drugstore. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, next, I have these highlighters here from Colourpop. This right here is in Flexitarian. It's my favorite one that they have, so I'm gonna keep this. Next, I have this liquid highlighter here from Rare Beauty in the shade Enlighten. I'll be honest, I haven't used this a ton, but I've swatched it many times, and the like 1 or 2 times I've used it, I actually really liked it. So I definitely want to give it more love because it's beautiful, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm also gonna keep this Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wand in Spotlight. Also really like this one, even though I don't use cream highlighters as often. I do like the formula of this one. It sits beautifully on the skin, so I'm gonna keep that. Oh, I think we were actually in the middle of talking about the Colourpop highlighter. So I'm gonna keep Flexitarian, as you guys saw. This right here is Over the Moon. It's like a purpley tone. Declutter. Next we have Spoon, which is a really pretty shade, although I think this might be a little bit more on the older side. So I'm gonna declutter this, and if I ever feel like I wanna pick it up again, maybe I will in the future, but I just haven't used it in such a long time. Barely even showing up. It's gonna be goodbye. And then this is in Spoon. No, Stole the Show. This is like a yellow gold. Declutter. And then I have all these little ones, which I'll kind of consider as one. Not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, because they're all so small. But I'm going to declutter all. I don't really use them. I've had them in my collection for a bit, and I'm like, okay, maybe. But now that I have the Rare Beauty one, I feel like if I need something more liquidy, I'm good to go. So I have like this from Benefit, this Nude Sticks highlighter, which is too dark. Milk Makeup, too dark. L'Oreal, I already have the Rare. And then the Cover FX little one. declutter all. And then finally, the last highlighter I have here, or somewhat of a highlighter, is the e.l.f. Electric Mood Glossy Skin Balm. So I like to use this with powder highlighters to create more of like a wet effect in a sense. So it's good. I don't really wear it on its own per se, but it's like something fun to play around with if you want to kind of like spice things up. Plus it's so affordable from the drugstore, so I'm gonna keep this. Okay, so here are all the highlighters that I'm gonna go ahead and keep. I have 30 in total, which I think is pretty decent. Let's hope that the amount I'm decluttering is more than that. So let me count. Okay, so I'm decluttering 36, and like I mentioned, those little ones I kind of counted as 1. So in total, I had 66, keeping 30 again, getting rid of 36, which I think is good. Let me know what you think. And then here is what the drawer is looking like once I organize everything. So much more breathable. I like that I have only 2 like cream liquids because I don't use those a ton. And then everything is pretty much situated there. My Ofra highlighters have their own little section. And here are like the bigger type of palettes. Probably could have gotten rid of a few more, but I think we're good. I think we're doing good. Okay. All right, so that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep me posted on your thoughts. Let me know how you guys think I did. Again, I will have my Poshmark linked down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.